On today's show, we're going to go over free agents. We're going to go over 20 free agents that the Detroit Lions should look to sign this offseason to help this team out. Now, in this list, there are current Detroit Lions players on this list, and there's also obviously free agents from other teams. Now, when I look at what the Detroit Lions need, just from a free agent standpoint, I had to do a top five. Do I really think tight end's a significant need? No, but I just put it on there. But you got offensive line, right? You got the backups there. Linebacker, again, a lot of injuries. Cornerback, we have some question marks there. And, of course, the number one need, I think we all know, is going to be pass rusher. The Detroit Lions need to get some pass rush. So let's go ahead and start with number 20 on my list. And this is a current Detroit Lion. We love this guy, Dan Skipper. I'm going to give this a 5 Detroit Lions logos out of 5 to sign Dan Skipper. Why is that? Because it's Skip. Skip is a great piece to this football team. He embodies Dan Campbell, always working hard. He could play tackle, swing tackle. He can also, he's played guard before. He does the extra offensive lineman. He's catched even a touchdown. Dan Skipper is a fan favorite because of what he does as a player, a guy who we all know he's not the greatest player in the NFL at all, but, man, he has got a magnificent drive and work ethic when I look at Dan Skipper. So that's my number 20 on my list. He just made the cut right there. Number 19 here is going to go with Khalil Dorsey, the Detroit Lions cornerback, who injured himself actually this year. Now, look, we need some corners because there's a lot of free agents here, and we need to pick up some corners. So he's already familiar with the system, so I'm just going to put him at number 19 for the Detroit Lions. Folks, subscribe for Detroit Lions news and rumors. If you're a fan of the Detroit Lions, you're going to want to go ahead and hit that good old subscribe button. Next player on my list that the Detroit Lions could look to get here. Well, I'll just go with the next two here. How about Javon Kinlaw, the interior defensive lineman from the New York Jets? We need to get some, I want to say, security at the interior defensive line because Lee McNeil went down. I don't think he's going to be starting for he's going to be ready for the start of the regular season 2025, and you got Javon Kinlaw. I don't think it's going to cost a lot to get him. 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles this year. He is something that the Lions could pick up for an extra body. How about Shane Zylstra at number 17, backup tight end for the Lions? It would be real easy for Detroit to go ahead and sign this guy. It's nothing of a significant deal to bring in Shane Zylstra. We're going to go with Mr. 16 on my list is an interior lineman, Lucas Patrick from the New Orleans Saints. Now, I give this a 2 meters to sign. Why is that? Because we already got Graham Glasgow and Zeitler also is individuals a free agent. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. But it's not a significant need to sign. We also drafted lineman last year's draft, but he can help out the Lions. They're 6'3", 315 pounds. If the Lions are looking to get some depth players, he is a guy that could do some depth for the Detroit Lions interior offensive line. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time, the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets to sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest price is guaranteed. That's the Game Time guaranteed. And going to a game is much better than being in the house. Pistons are traveling to Chicago to face the Bulls. And our friends from Game Time has a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks. And what this does, it filters out all the fluff. You give the best deals on seats. You're not spending hours looking for tickets on different ticketing sites. It's just incredible deals, what it is. And how do you find this? Well, you go into Game Time. You look to the venue you want to go to in a 3D view. Select the Game Time Picks button on top of the screen, and it automatically does the research for you. And it filters out the tickets in the database, give you the best deals and seats, so you're not spending hours on a bunch of different ticketing sites trying to find the best tickets. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. And a middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, move phone left to right. You can see this around an area, kind of like a 3D live photo. Also, all pricing is right there for you. There's no hidden fees at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. If you're new to Game Time, put in Chat Sports and you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. How do you do that? You go to the redeem code section, plug in Chat Sports, you get $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. You got to create an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure you're using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. Another player on my list here is Trevor Nowaske, number 16, Lions linebacker. He played outside linebacker kind of when Derrick Barnes went down. I thought he did a decent job. So if the Lions can get him back, because we need to get some depth at linebacker, there's no doubt about it with the free agency. He's one of those individuals I'm looking to re-sign because he came in here, he helped the Lions out. Yeah, is he the greatest guy on the Lions defense? Absolutely not. That's why I got him on 16, but he is a contributor, and we love contributors on this football team. And that's what it's all about here, is getting players not just for the starters, but also for depth for the Detroit Lions. Question for you. Should the Lions go big in this year's free agency? B for big or P for pass? Let me get your thoughts in the comments below. Let's go ahead and continue on here and talk about the Detroit Lions number 15 selection that I got. I think the Lions should go with Lucas Patrick. We talked about it just a minute ago from the Saints. But how about Al-Quadin Muhammed right next to him for the Lions? We need to get another pass rusher. Now, he came in here and he helped out the Lions decent this year. So it's not a high priority for me, but for a backup role, getting Muhammad at number 14, and it's not going to cost anything to sign this guy, makes sense to me. What do you guys think? Next here, we got Kevin Zeitler. I'm putting him at a higher priority. Why is that? Because he played well for the Lions this year. Matter of fact, I felt like when he went out, maybe that was one of the reasons our offensive line was bad in the playoffs versus the Commanders. But for a one-year deal, why not bring him back? Look, I know we have some linemen that we drafted, but I thought Zeitler did a phenomenal job. And if we can get him back at a low price, higher free agent, why wouldn't you want to do that? Makes a lot of sense to me. Number 12 here is Azeez Ojulari, linebacker / pass rusher from the New York Giants. There's rumors in free agency that Lions could look to acquire him. Well, why not do it in free agency? He's got 6 sacks, 12 solo tackles, and he could be another situational pass rusher, and we need pass rushers. Now, look, we're going to get some pass rushers that are coming back, obviously, but I'm looking to upgrade as well, and I think Azeez Ojulari could be an individual that the Lions could get that would be an upgrade at pass rush, maybe over John Kaminsky. Number 11 here, I went with Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if he's going to do the school thing again, but if we can get him back at the quarterback position, that makes sense for me. If not, we got Hendon Hooker, because there's been rumors that the Lions may trade Hendon Hooker. I'm fine with him being here. Or Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is nothing. Look, if he doesn't come back, it's no big deal. But I place him on the list because we do need to have I'll put with 3 quarterbacks so far this offseason. You want to start with 3, and they may cut down to 2, but that's what I got going on with them. The number 10 player on my list is Javon Holland, this safety out of Miami. Now you say, Javon Holland, we got a good 2 safeties in Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. Yeah, but what about Afutu Melifonwu, who was boo-boos because he's injured? So why not take out Afutu, put Javon Holland in here, upgraded significantly at the safety position? I'm going to give this 3 logos because I think this would be a smart move for the Lions. Remember, I talked about him in NFL mock drafts, and he's been a pretty good safety for Miami, so I'm all about bringing him to the Lions, and you would have a dynamic secondary. I think he would be upgrade over Iffy, who's always injured, and that could be something for the Lions to look at going forward. My number 9 player on my list is linebacker Lorenzo Carter, another pass rusher, player who can get after the quarterback as well. And we need to have players of that caliber on this football team. Look, he is going to be that linebacker. So he's going to be a backup, right? He'll be in there. We need depth at the linebacker position / a guy who can get after the quarterback. He is a guy that could do that. And it'd be on the cheap, too. It's not going to cost a lot. Number 8 is our current wide receiver, Tim Patrick. Yes, bring Tim Patrick back to the Lions. He was a phenomenal number 3. It's not going to cost a lot. And he makes this offense go. We've seen what happened when we inserted him. He started getting well. The Lions' offense was humming. Number 7 here, maybe we can do a 1 or 2 year deal with Derrick Barnes. We love Derrick Barnes, injured this year. I don't think it's going to cost an arm and a leg to get him because of his injury. And I thought he was going to have a phenomenal season, but he got knocked out. So I think we can get him for a decent price, maybe a 1-year prove-it deal. Number 6 here, Carlton Davis. Same situation. How about we do that 1-year prove-it deal with Carlton Davis? Injured this past season. We'll do an Emmanuel Mosley for Carlton Davis. Remember, we did a 3rd-round pick to get him. Why not try to keep him on a 1-year prove-it deal? Prove-it deal. Do not overpay for Carlton Davis. A prove-it deal. Subscribe for Lions news and rumors, folks. That's what it's all about. If you're a fan of the Detroit Lions, we're doing this every single day. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Next player on my list, number 5 here, is going to go with Josh Sweat, the pass rusher from the Philadelphia Eagles. And we need pass rush in a big way, and Josh Sweat can fill that from Philadelphia. He has 8 sacks this year, 27 solo tackles. Again, do we have to explain why we want him? I'm going with the 5 logos because I want to get pass rush. Number 4 is Levi Onwuzurike. I'm making this a priority. I want Levi to come back. It's going to cost a little bit of money to bring him back. He was consistent this year. Levi Onwuzurike was a disruptor. We need him back big time. How about Dre Greenlaw? Yes, I want some really good defensive players on this football team, and I think Dre Greenlaw could be an individual that can help out the Lions. Look, he didn't have a whole lot with a lot of injuries here, right? But we can get him on the cheap. 3 solo tackles is what he did last year. The guy is a leader, injury-prone. Man, him and Dan Campbell, I think, would be coup together. Let's just go ahead and finish this off here with my number 2 selection that I think that the Lions could get better here. How about we go with DeMarcus Lawrence, pass rusher from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, look, he's an older guy, but he can help out the Lions. Now, we had a guy, Marcus Davenport, who did butt cheeks for us. How about we get another guy in here who is a situational? He's older, right? He's an older player, but he's a situational guy. He could do the DeMarcus Lawrence role. My number 1 player that I want the Detroit Lions to get here is Khalil Mack, pass rusher from the Chargers. It makes a lot of sense here. I'm going with 5 logos. Put him opposite of Hutch, and you have Z in there. The Lions' pass rush is much better. Yeah, I know he's at the end of his career, but you do the Marcus Davenport situation. He's a much upgrade over Marcus Davenport. You put him in there, we're talking about a better Detroit Lions football team. No doubt about it. And that is my list for this video. So in the comments right now, give me a thought about my list that I have. Who is players you want the Lions to sign? Also subscribe, share, and like. Adios.